What if I told you that reality as you know it is no longer the same? That time is different, that your connections are changing, and that certain events seem to be synchronized in an almost magical way. This is not imagination. It is a clear sign that you are already experiencing the fifth dimension. But calm down, I'm not talking about something mystical or inaccessible. I'm talking about a real change in perception, something that many people are already feeling, but don't know how to explain. Perhaps you have noticed that certain people have moved away, that your intuition is sharper, or that your relationship with nature has intensified. Small details, such as feeling a call to seek more authenticity and inner peace, are indicative that your consciousness is expanding. But how do you know for sure? How do you identify the signs that you are no longer bound by the linear logic of time and are operating at a new level of consciousness? If you feel that something deep is changing within you, continue here. I'll show you clear signs that you're already vibrating at a new energetic frequency and what that means for your life. Get ready, because once you understand this, your worldview will never be the same. Have you ever noticed how, sometimes, an entire day goes by in the blink of an eye, while other hours seem to drag on endlessly? This distorted perception of time intensifies in the fifth dimension. Here, non-linear time manifests itself in a clear way. The past, present, and future intertwine, and previously disconnected events begin to make sense in retrospect. It is as if the flow of the universe is rearranging everything according to your new consciousness. The clock keeps ticking the same hours, but within you, there is a profound shift of perception. Many people report feeling that the days are shorter or that specific moments seem to repeat themselves as energetic echoes. This happens because, when the energetic frequency rises, the mind moves from chronological time and starts to operate by intuition. A practical example: you are immersed in a creative activity and suddenly you realize that hours have passed without you noticing. This sense of absolute flow is an indication that your consciousness is aligning with this new reality. Another curious effect is the synchronicity between thoughts and events. You think of someone and, minutes later, they send you a message. He dreams of a situation and, the next day, something similar happens. This is because, in the fifth dimension, the timeline does not follow a fixed course. It responds to your vibration. Time ceases to be a limiting factor and becomes a reflection of your inner state. The more aligned you are with your truth, the more fluid it becomes. If this shift in perception has been constant for you, it may be time to take a closer look at what your intuition is trying to reveal. After all, when time begins to behave differently, other aspects of reality also begin to transform. Have you ever felt that suddenly some people just don't match with you anymore? Conversations that once flowed now feel forced, and even social gatherings lose their luster. This is because by raising your energetic frequency, you naturally move away from vibrations that no longer resonate with your consciousness. It's not arrogance or lack of empathy. It's an energetic realignment. Your vibrational field is changing, and old connections may no longer hold up in this new flow of the universe. This social distancing can be painful at first, especially when it involves friends or even family members. Suddenly, subjects that were once common lose their meaning for you. While some are still stuck in old patterns, you feel a call to something greater, something that transcends superficiality. But mind you, this does not mean that you should abandon loved ones. Instead, it is an invitation to seek connections that are more aligned with your spiritual transformation. A good example of this is when someone goes through a significant shift in priorities. Imagine someone who has always valued status and material possessions, but now finds inner peace in simple things, such as a moment of silence in nature or a genuine conversation. This kind of change can cause estrangement in old circles, and that's okay. This is a sign that your consciousness is expanding, and new people, more aligned with this phase, will begin to emerge naturally. So if you notice that some connections are dissolving, don't try to hold on to something that has already served its purpose. The universe operates in cycles, and each phase brings new encounters, new synchronicities, and new opportunities for growth. And speaking of noticeable changes, you may have noticed another curious phenomenon lately. You know that moment when you feel like something is going to happen even before any evidence, or when a decision simply feels right without any logical explanation. Well, that's no coincidence. It's your intuition becoming stronger. As your energetic frequency rises, your consciousness expands, and traditional logic gives way to a deeper connection to the flow of the universe. What once seemed like a mere hunch now manifests itself as an unshakable certainty. Many people begin to realize this when they have spontaneous premonitions or forebodings that come true. You may be driving and suddenly feel an impulse to change course, then find out there was an accident on the original path. Or you feel a strange energy when you meet someone and later realize that that person really wasn't trustworthy. These small manifestations show that your perception is beyond the five senses. You are accessing information that does not come from the rational mind, but from your expanded consciousness. If you want to strengthen this intuition, practice listening more and thinking less. Meditation, silence, and time in nature help clear mental interference and pick up on more subtle signals. Another powerful practice is intuitive journaling. Write down sensations and thoughts that come out of nowhere, and over time, see which ones come true. You will notice patterns and begin to rely even more on this inner compass. After all, intuition isn't magic, it's a muscle that can be trained. And the more you align with this heightened perception, the more changes occur in your physical body. Have you experienced some strange symptoms lately? Maybe that pressure in the head or a different tingling. Your body is a direct reflection of your energetic frequency. As his consciousness expands, he needs to adjust to sustain this new vibration, and that's where the physical symptoms come in: pressure in the head, tingling, a feeling of heaviness in the body, or even sudden fatigue. Often, these signs are mistaken for something negative, but they actually indicate a deep, energetic realignment. Your nervous system is recalibrating to operate in a new attunement, more connected to the fifth dimension. These sensations can come on suddenly and disappear as quickly as they came. Some people report ringing in the ears, altered sleep cycle, or even a different appetite. This is because your body is adapting to a new flow of energy. Imagine an electrical appliance running at a higher voltage. It needs adjustments so as not to overload. Your body does the same, releasing emotional and physical toxins to bring you into balance. That is why practices such as intense hydration, light eating, and contact with nature can help in this process. If you have been experiencing these symptoms, try incorporating small changes into your routine. Meditations with deep breathing help regulate energy, while baths with coarse salt help to discharge vibrational excesses. Some people benefit from using crystals such as amethyst or clear quartz, which help stabilize the energetic frequency. Small adjustments make a big difference in the body's adaptation to this new vibration. And as these physical changes happen, something curious also begins to occur. Your priorities begin to transform. Things that once seemed essential no longer make as much sense, while others now have a completely different value. Suddenly, what once seemed so important begins to lose its luster. Status, material goods, external recognition. All of this becomes less weighty. On the other hand, inner peace, authenticity, and life purpose become essential. This change in perception does not happen overnight, but gradually takes hold until you realize that you are looking for a different kind of fulfillment, something that comes from within and not from what the external world imposes. Many people experience this as an inner calling. Maybe that high-paying but energy-draining job doesn't seem so attractive anymore. Or else, certain social obligations begin to ring hollow. You feel a growing desire to invest time in what really makes sense to your soul. And this can be anything from exploring a new hobby to completely changing your professional trajectory. The important thing is to realize that this change is not a loss, but an energetic realignment with your truth. If you want to better understand what your new priorities are, a good practice is the Authenticity Journal. For a week, write down what brings you genuine satisfaction and what feels like pure obligation. In the end, analyze the patterns. Where does your energy flow naturally? What inspires you? Often the answers are already within you, but they need to be brought to consciousness. Small adjustments in everyday life already make a difference. Replacing moments of empty distraction with activities that nourish your soul can be a good start. And as you align yourself with this new way of living, something fascinating happens. Your connection to nature intensifies. Suddenly, the wind seems to speak. The singing of birds sounds like a message, and being outdoors becomes a deeply spiritual experience. Ever notice how nature seems to respond when you're most conscious? The sound of leaves blowing in the wind, the brightness of the sun among the clouds, the singing of birds. Everything seems to take on a deeper meaning. This connection is not an illusion. It is a reflection of your spiritual transformation. The more your consciousness expands, the more you realize that nature is not just a scenery, but a living, pulsating presence full of subtle messages. Many people report feeling a kind of communication with nature. Suddenly, an animal crosses your path at the exact moment you're reflecting on something important, or a butterfly lands near you just when you're going through a moment of transition. These are not simple coincidences. They are synchronicities that show that you are in tune with the flow of the universe. Trees, rivers, mountains, everything carries an energetic frequency of its own. And when you open yourself to this connection, you feel an indescribable inner peace. If you want to deepen this relationship, try spending more time outdoors, barefoot, absorbing the energy of the earth. Grounding, walking barefoot on dirt or grass, helps to balance the energy field and relieve tensions. Another powerful practice is to meditate by observing the movement of clouds or the fluidity of a river. Nature teaches about non-linear time, detachment, and harmony. Small rituals, such as mentally thanking the sunset or planting something with intention, also strengthen this connection. And the more you align yourself with this energy, the more you realize that life begins to deliver signals to you. Coincidences increase. The right encounters happen at the right time, and everything seems to flow in an almost magical way. You know when you think of someone and suddenly they call you, or when you're reflecting on a decision and a clear signal appears, like a phrase on a billboard or a song that plays at just the right moment. This is not mere chance. It is the universe speaking to you. When your energetic frequency aligns with the fifth dimension, synchronicities become more and more frequent. Everything begins to fall into place almost magically, and you realize that life has a natural flow, far beyond the control of the rational mind. The more aware you become, the more you realize that these coincidences are subtle messages from the universe. It can be a book that comes to you at the right time, an unexpected conversation that brings exactly the answer you needed, or even a chance encounter that completely changes your trajectory. These synchronicities are like a cosmic GPS, guiding you in the right direction. But to see them, you need to be present, attentive, and receptive. If you want to increase these manifestations, practice what I call active observation. Instead of spending the day on autopilot, start noticing the little signs around you. Keep a synchronicity journal and see how certain patterns repeat themselves. Ask the universe for an answer and stay tuned for the next few days. It can come in unexpected ways. Also, trust intuition more. Often, the answer is already within you, and synchronicities only confirm what your soul already knows. And when you really start living in that flow, everything transforms. Opportunities appear, the right connections happen, and the feeling of being on the right path becomes stronger and stronger. But how do you know if all this means that you are already in the fifth dimension? Well, there are very clear signs for this. Now that you recognize these signs, the big question is, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Will you ignore it and continue living on autopilot? Or will you embrace this spiritual transformation and align your life with the flow of the universe? The fifth dimension is not a destiny, but a state of consciousness. And the more you allow yourself to live in that high energetic frequency, the more synchronicities, intuitions, and positive changes you experience. Look at your life now. Where have you resisted change? What has your intuition been trying to show you, but that you insist on ignoring? If time is different, your connections are changing, and your perception of the world is transforming. It may be time to trust more of what your soul already knows. Let go of fear, embrace authenticity, and allow yourself to flow with this new reality. And if you want to continue exploring this universe and deepening your understanding of expanded consciousness, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you will always find content that will help you realign your energy and live in harmony with this new frequency. After all, nothing happens by chance. If you've come this far, it's because this message needed to reach you.